So today on Sports Hall, we're taking a very unique look at a lost piece of Montreal history, at least for fans of the modern era. Joseph Romeo Steve Penney, born February 7, 1961, was one of the most important Montreal Canadiens players of the mid-'80s, because a lot of people figured he helped rebuild the Montreal goalie system after the failure of the Heron Walmsley 70 era in Montreal. Now, born in Saint Foy, Quebec, as a youth he drew great recognition as in 1974 he played in the Quebec International Pee Wee Hockey Tournament for his hometown squad. Now, his stats in the Q and the minors were, not excellent, but not bad. He played 3 years with Shawinigan Cataracts, one of the best goalie systems in the Q. And his best season was 1981, where he won 30 games, lost 25, with a 4.24 average, which is kind of normal for goalies in the Q because it's high scoring. Now, he played for the Flint Generals and the Nova Scotia Voyageurs for three seasons. But by 83-84, Jacques Lemaire became more and more disgruntled with Walmsley and 78 replay, and he made a bold decision. Early in the year, Penney had played 4 games with Montreal with no victories. But Lemaire shot the dice and decided to play Penney in the playoffs, and this is where the excellence came in. In the first round, he defeated Boston, standing on his head for many games and making key saves. And in the quarterfinals against our arch rivals, Quebec Nordiques, he played excellent, especially in the key Game 6, where Montreal came back from a 2-0 deficit, and the brawl, the famous brawl that everybody talks about, the massacre, as we say, to beat Nordiques in 6 games. They played the Honors in the semifinals, but due to unfortunate means, they lost 4 straight after winning the first 2 games at home. Now, they would have played Edmonton in the second round, but it never worked out. Now, in the 84-85 season, he became Montreal's number 1 goalie, and he had great success with a 26-18-8 record in the regular season with a 3.08 average. But once he got in the playoffs, he played the Nordiques again in the second round. But this time, the Nordiques' famous goal by Peter Stastny in overtime, he defeated Montreal in 7 games. Now, this is where everything shifts for Steve Penney. He entered the 85-86 season as basically, their key goalie. But the emergence of Patrick Roy and an injury to Penney at the early part of the season, I think it was in January or February, he didn't have an opportunity to have a full season. Now, the season-ending injury in January limited him to only 18 games, and for some reason, when Montreal won the Cup that year, his name was left off the Stanley Cup, even though he qualified due to injury exemption, which I think is very unfair. Penney deserved to be on the Cup because he was the link between that comeback year and the Patrick Roy years. Now, in the off-season, there was a falling out between Montreal and Penney, and he was traded to Winnipeg for all people, the ever-popular backup, Brian Hayward, which was great value for Montreal, but not so much for Winnipeg. Now, Penney's career was nondescript in Winnipeg, and he ended up with the Moncton Hawks in 87-88, and after that, his career pretty well faded out. But one thing about Steve Penney, he was good value for his style. He wasn't butterfly, he wasn't stand-up. He was a very high-end AHL goalie that had NHL capacity. But what was nice about Montreal, they did give him a Stanley Cup ring in 1986, and he was also named the NHL All-Rookie team in 84-85, a good year for rookies in all levels. Now, for many people that grew up in the 1980s as a Montreal fan, Steve Penney always holds a good place in their heart. From what I heard, he's a very nice individual, so if you have a chance to meet him, you'll see that. He shows up at various signings every once in a while, and he's a trivia question for a lot of people, because a lot of people thought he was going to be the future of the Montreal Canadiens, but getting Patrick Roy gave Montreal that extra it needed. And Steve Penney would have been a good backup for Patrick Roy if he would have been, that injured in the 86 season. But Brian Hayward helped with the Cup run towards 89, and the rest is history, I guess. So again, Steve Penney, a big part of Montreal history in a positive way. I can't think anybody says anything bad about him. I don't think he gave up too many cheap goals, but I said he was an interpretive goalie. Like had the old-fashioned Dominic Hasek style, CCM mask, and he had a very distinct way about him. He was good. He was good, defending the power play, defending 5-on-5. He was a very, very good talent. So on this beautiful Wednesday day in New Brunswick, we tell everybody, of course, to keep your stick on the ice. And just if you see any Montreal fans in your travel saying, I remember, Steve Penney was a good goalie. Have a good one.